Hey everybody, Bradley here, and in today's video I'm going to share the 3 biggest lessons I learned from shooting weddings this past year. So this past year has been the first year that I've done a lot of freelance stuff. I don't have a whole lot of time for it with my other full-time job. So I shot by myself, I think 4 weddings this past year, and then I second shot a couple of others, which definitely isn't a lot. I know that. I'm hoping to shoot a whole bunch more next year. But this was my first year actually going out and like shooting weddings. I hadn't really ever done a wedding before this year, so I want to share my biggest takeaways and things that I learned. This is not a how-to video or a how to shoot weddings video or a what not to do when you shoot weddings. I'm not trying to teach you guys stuff. Sharing my thoughts on the weddings that I shot this past year. Yeah. Okay, so the number one thing that I really screwed up on and wish that I would have done this past year was having a second shooter. I did none of my weddings with a second shooter and I regret it so much. I kind of learned my lesson towards the end of the year because I had a whole bunch of weddings in the summer, and so I had time to think and realize that I need a second shooter, and then I hired a second shooter, and then they got sick at the last minute and weren't able to be there, so I solo shot that one. But honestly, like, I don't even need the second shooter for like getting the shots, because that's something that I have been able to do so far, is like get all the shots that I need, and typically I overshoot anyways. But there's 2 main areas I need a second shooter in, and that's when it comes to shooting the first look. There needs to be a camera on both faces. In all the weddings that I shot, I either only had one angle, or like they were doing the first look when she's walking down the aisle, and then I had to switch back and forth really quickly, which I know I could solve that problem with like another camera on a tripod, but regardless, it's better to just have somebody there manning that camera. And the other thing is like communicating with the wedding manager person and the bride to figure out what the schedule is for the day, getting the groom mic'd up, getting an audio recorder on the DJ soundboard, like all the other little things besides just shooting, like audio, lighting, you know, the schedule for the day, where and when we're going to be places, like all that stuff is things that is really hard to manage by yourself, and you're trying to, you know, apply all of your creativity to getting really good shots. Being able to capture everything and manage all of those other things is a huge pain. So like just having a second shooter who can take care of like the audio and lighting for the reception while I went and shot stuff, or vice versa. Not having a second shooter really sucked this year. So from now on, I will never do a wedding ever again without a second shooter. Okay, communication. This was a huge thing that I wish I would have done better. So like communicating with the bride before the wedding day, making sure like you know exactly what they want, all the dates, times, locations, everything's gonna happen. Luckily, I didn't have any moments this year where like I missed a shot or the couple was really unhappy with the video. Like all the couples were happy and all that. But just the amount of stress I would have on the wedding day because I felt like I didn't know everything that was going on, always kind of sucked. So communication is vitally important. Communication might be more important than anything else when it comes to skills to have when shooting weddings. But luckily nothing bad happened because of a lack of communication. So there's that. Last big thing that I realized and kind of learned, but luckily I got the hang of it before it became an issue, was buying the right gear. So besides just having a good camera that can shoot 4K 60, whatever, like all those kinds of specs, that's definitely important. Having a good lens selection, good quality lenses, that's all great. But the biggest thing I'm glad that I did looking back was buying really good quality audio equipment. So like lav mics for the groom. I've got one of those Tascam DR40s. I think I have it right here actually. Yeah, right here. one of these things right here, this little Tascam. These external recorders I can just plug straight into a DJ's soundboard. So you can like record all the audio coming right off of the DJ's mics is really great. Having all that, and another big game changer was having a video light to take to reception. So I'm actually using this Nanlite Forza 60. It's like the really tiny compact one, but it's super bright. I had one of those for the last wedding I shot, and I wish that I had it for all the weddings that I shot, because I was able to have way better quality footage because I wasn't cranking the ISO. Okay, and that's pretty much all of the biggest takeaways I had this year shooting weddings. It's something I really enjoy doing, and I can't wait to do more of it next year. Weddings are so cool because something that's really enjoyable about being a filmmaker is like being a storyteller, and like weddings are perfect because the story is already there. You're just telling this couple's love story. It's cool. It's really cool, especially when like you get to know the couple and you really like them and you all get along really well. And so being able to tell people's love story is fun. It's been really fun, and you always get really great golden hour footage. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to put them down in the comment section below. And I will talk to you all next time. Thanks for watching. God bless.